Okay, here we go, boys and girls. Let's talk about our lesson today. So, our lesson today is going to focus on reading is thinking. So, what that means is we're going to remember in the video before this, we talked a lot about the difference between learning targets and setting goals. So, I'm going to lay it out each day so you can verbalize back and really identify what is the destination we want. What do we want you to know and what do we want you to be able to do? And then how are you going to do that step by step? So let's look at the learning goal for reading today. It says, my learning target today is to think about my reading and notice things about my characters, the setting, the events, problems and solutions, or about something different. So your goal or your learning target that I am giving you as your teacher is to be a noticer. You're going to notice things while you read. So this is how you will do that. When we start, you'll clear your desks of all distractions or your quiet space at home. Then you will label 3 Post-its with the letter N. Letter N is for notice. Then you're going to stick the Post-its in your book as your noticing pops out to you. So remember, since we're working on really being those independent readers and learners, we talked about what a 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is. So your goal is to really practice this learning target so you can work to be at a 3, which means, yep, I can read and notice things today. I can get it. I can do it. But maybe it'll take some practice along the way. And that is okay. So think to yourself, I'm going to hit pause a minute. And I want you to say to yourself, what is the learning target today? What is your destination as a reader? What are you being asked to do while you read? And what do we want you to be able to do when you're done? Okay, so what you should have been saying to yourself is, my learning target today is to think about my reading and notice things. Notice your story elements, characters, setting, events, problems, and solutions. But there might be other things you notice as a reader, and that is okay too. So our next slide tells us in a few more words, what does it mean to notice? So reading is thinking, meaning good readers think about what they are reading. This helps to better understand the text. So noticings today, you're going to ask yourself while you read, what do you notice while reading the text? Or what do you notice about the characters, the setting, problem, and solution? So I am going to show you an example from our book of the day today, which is Williams Doll. So with Williams Doll, the learning target was going to mark and notice things about the character, setting, events, problems, solutions, or something different. So here are the 3 Post-its labeled with the letter N. Notice where the N is written. The N is written at the top of each Post-it because you still want to have space to jot something down on your Post-it. Okay, so what you see first on this side in Williams Doll is there are 3 tags. Okay, so I used 3 smaller Post-its. Some of you were kind of ripping strips today. So my strips right here marked noticing 1, marked noticing 2, marked noticing 3. So not doing any jotting right now. Instead, my mind is paying attention to what I'm noticing, and then I mark that page real quick with a Post-it. So after the end of this is the second part. So after the end of reading today, when you finish, you're going to show us that you learned the learning target today. So what you're going to do is you are going to attach pictures below. And notice that the word after is written in green. Afterward, we'll do a little bit of information on here, not while you're reading. And the goal is noticing and thinking about your 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you need more help? You kind of got it, or you got it. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to take your actual Post-it from your book, the 3 Post-its, not the strips. Okay, you're going to use the 3 Post-its today and put 1, 2, 3. And each one has the letter N on there, right? Then it says jot. I want you to jot the first thing you noticed, jot the second thing you noticed, and jot the third thing you noticed. What you will see right here on your reading mat is that there is going to be an empty box. And I want you to snap a picture of the book that your noticings came from today. So this is an example from our read aloud of William's Doll. So the first thing I noticed, and maybe you did too, is that William is very patient and he's creative and he's kind. I noticed that his brother and the neighbor boy are unkind. I noticed that his dad has a fixed mindset and his grandma is warm-hearted. Okay, the second thing I noticed was how William always reacted to his dad and to his brother with patience, and because he always had a growth mindset. He was always very kind. The last thing I noticed in William's Doll is how creative William is. So I think about the train and everything that he built, and he did that throughout the entire story. So those are 3 things that I noticed while I was listening to William's Doll. Okay, so here's a second example. So I'm going to show you noticing how I did it in my own workshop book. So I'm reading the Genius Files, never say genius, so I'm focusing on noticing. I marked my book with 3 tabs, and I have 3 Post-its ready to do my jotting. And then notice it says right here, after my 30 minutes of reading, I'm going to attach pictures below. And I'm going to jot on my Post-it, what was it that I noticed? So in my chapters today of the Genius Files, it was super cool. I noticed an author's pattern. So in book 1, Coke and Pep always receive like these little cheap toy gifts or just these very random things. And then in book 1, it was a Frisbee. And they're always like, whoa, what do I do with a Frisbee? And in this book, they got soap. They got a bar of soap. So I keep wondering now, I wonder what they're going to end up having to use the soap for. And then the second thing I noticed in my chapters today was I liked that Maya and Bones, who work with Maya and Pep and help protect them from the bad guys. I loved how they were in disguises today. They were like undercover spies. So I noticed some things about my characters today. The last thing I noticed is I noticed something about the setting. The setting changed. They are now in the Chicago area because remember they're traveling across the country. And so instead of staying in their RV, they're staying in a motel as a family. So again, I noticed an author's pattern from one book to another. So it's like a series pattern. I noticed something about my characters, and I noticed something about my setting. Boys and girls, please notice that my jotting is about 1 or 2 sentences long. Okay, so then the last part of my responsibility after I show you my learning target, like you're going to show the learning target, is to do your book share. You're just answering these two questions. Please attach a picture of your book or a selfie with your book. Please don't leave this box right here blank. So you're going to hold up and show your workshop book in a video or in a picture. Like I did here, I chose to do a picture. And then say out loud and with the audio tool or video, what is the title and the author of the book? And 2, tell us what happened in this story today. Give us some details of what changed from the last time you shared with us. And then you'll see, boys and girls, your own student slides. This is where your work will begin. So you are not writing on these. This is a reminder of what your learning target is, what your destination. You're working on having 3 Post-its to work on your noticing. After our 30 minutes of reading, you will attach pictures below. Pictures of your 3 Post-its. Remote learners, you are welcome to type in your information right here on the Post-its. Okay, but boys and girls in the classroom, we are actually using Post-its. So we're going to attach Post-its right to your own working mat. You're going to have a working mat right at your seat. And then we're going to attach 2 pictures to this page. You're going to attach a picture of the book you're reading right here. And you are going to attach a picture of your 3 Post-its and then share this whole mat with us on Seesaw. Your last step as a reader is what you read about today. What happened in your story? So you're going to, just like I did, attach a picture of the front of your book or a selfie, your choice. Use the audio tool and tell us what happened in the story today. Give us some details. And that is it. We are excited readers to see you change and start growing and paying attention to what those learning targets are. We're looking forward to seeing your jotting on your Post-its. Why are we doing that? Because we're excited to see how your mind is engaged. So think about where this entire lesson started today. It says reading is thinking. You got this, readers. Have a great day reading. Adios.